Welcome to the fourth and final video of this series, How to Play Scales Fast on the Piano. All of the videos in this tutorial series teach you, the pianist, to play the scales with ease, evenness, clarity, and musical expression. This skill transfers into your piano playing, and so the mastery of all the major scales and the three forms of all the minor scales is incredibly important. Scale development not only helps with general finger technique and fast playing, it also helps with playing in a slow, lyrical style. It's also indispensable with decisions about fingering your music. The thumb often hinders our ability to play fast because it's shorter and heavier than our other fingers. The thumb will also accent notes that are not intended to be accented. These are the reasons the thumb must be trained to move quickly and lightly so that we're able to play with distinct dexterity and control. All major and minor scales consist of the thumb passing under the third finger and the thumb passing under the fourth finger. In other words, there are two different positionings in all scales. In the first three videos of this series, I demonstrated exercises that train the thumb to move quickly and lightly under the third and fourth fingers. Additionally, we began training the thumb to stabilize the hand as the fingers move from one positioning to the next positioning. These principles are the basic ingredients of fast playing. Just a reminder, this video series is not going to teach the fingering of the scales or the theory behind the scales. There are many books that give this information. This video series is going to provide you with unique and proven exercises that will reinforce learning the scales. These exercises will also unleash a tremendous amount of ability, finger development, and fast, controlled playing. So let's begin. Again, we'll look at the C major scale. In the first three videos, we talked about the 2-3 position and the 2-3-4 position that occurs in every major scale and the three forms of all of the minor scales. In the right hand C major scale, the thumb plays C and the thumb plays F. To build on the previous three videos, we'll now combine those exercises together. Place your right hand thumb on C as you would for a C scale. Check your wrist. Be sure that your wrist is high, not low. It's impossible to play fast if you have a low wrist. Check your knuckles to be sure that your knuckles are tall and not caved in. Again, it's impossible to play fast if your knuckles are not tall. Check your finger joints. Be sure that your fingers are not caved in like that. We want the fingers to be curved and strong. This is so that you're playing on the tip of each finger. We'll begin by playing the thumb on C. After a pause, play the 2-3 position as a block. Instantly, as we've learned previously, quickly move the thumb under the hand to the next thumb note of the scale, which is F. Pause before playing the F. Next, when you then play the F, instantly allow the thumb to shift the hand over the 2-3-4 position, the GAB. After a pause, play the 2-3-4 position as a block while simultaneously moving the thumb under the hand to the next thumb note, C. If you're playing the scales one octave, you would use the fifth finger here. But I'd like to encourage you to play at least 2 octaves for the purpose of the exercise and to prepare you for playing more than 1 octave. Now I'm going to demonstrate with 4 octaves. So I'm going to start down here. Here's my thumb. G, 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 shift, thumb under, shift, thumb under. Move the thumb quickly. One more octave. Now here's the fifth finger. You want to make sure that your fingers are not reaching for the notes. Just as we've previously talked about, we don't want this to happen. That's only going to slow you down. It also makes your elbow swing out. You don't want to be reaching for the notes. The thumb is shifting the hand over the notes about ready to be played. Here is a demonstration of this exercise applied to the D harmonic minor scale. D minor is relative to F major, and the key signature of F major has one flat in it, B flat. So the key of D minor has one flat, B flat, and the harmonic form raises the seventh tone of the scale. The seventh tone of D minor is C, so now that becomes C sharp. The scale beginning on D. Here's our B flat, C sharp. So our 2-3 position is E and F, then our thumb on G, and then our 2-3-4 position is A, B flat, C sharp, and D. If you do this one octave, and then your fifth finger, shift simultaneously. Here's the D harmonic minor scale with this exercise for 4 octaves. Here's your D, 2-3 position. Keep your wrist tall. Shift, shift, one more octave. Fifth finger here. Remember not to reach with your fingers. You don't want to do this. You see how that makes your elbow come out? Keep your fingers right in front of your hands. One more octave. Excellent. Let's now begin the left hand. The left hand begins the C major scale with the fifth finger on C. Place your left hand into position. Check your wrist to be sure that it's tall and high, not low. Check your knuckles. Be sure that your knuckles are tall and not caved in like that. Check your finger joints. You want your finger to be rounded, not flat, and not caved in. We don't want that. We want to make sure that our fingers have the ability to play on the tip. We'll begin by playing the fifth finger on C. After a pause, play the 2-3-4 position, which is D, E, F as a block. When you then play the next thumb note, which is G, instantly allow the thumb to shift the hand over the thumb to the upcoming 2-3 position, A and B. After a pause, play the 2-3 position as a block while simultaneously moving the thumb out from under the hand to the next thumb note, C. And pause. Here's your thumb. Now right here, if you're playing your scales one octave, you'll head back down the scale from here. I'm going to demonstrate playing 4 octaves. Again, I'd like to encourage you to play at least 2 octaves if you're playing the scales. Here's our 2, 3, 4 position. Simultaneous, move. 2, 3, 4, move the thumb. The pause is very important. Keep your fingers still, not reaching for the next notes. And don't let your elbow swing out. Here's the top. We're going to head back down. The thumb moves simultaneously under the hand now. Don't reach for any notes. Move very quickly. And then pause. Here's your 5th finger. Excellent work. And now for the metronome. Begin hands alone with all of the following instructions. I'll demonstrate, however, hands together. Starting with 1 octave scales, I suggest setting the metronome at 60. This will be 1 note per tick. If you need to start slower, then do that. This is 60, 1 octave. Excellent. In very small increments, increase the tempo. Once you reach 92, and we'll do that now, then it'll be time to definitely move to 2 octaves. But here's 92, 1 octave, 1 note on each tick. Now let's begin 2 octaves. Let's set the metronome at 50, and again, if you need to start slower, that's perfectly fine. 2 octaves with 8th notes, so 2 notes to each tick. Increase that tempo in very, very small increments. I suggest once you reach 72, it's time to go into 3 octaves, but let's first do 72 in 8th notes, 2 octaves. Here's 72. And now for 3 octaves. I suggest starting at 46, but again, start slower if you need to. This will be triplets, so 3 notes to each tick. 46. In very small increments, move up as fast as, I'll say about 69. I'm going to do triplets at 69. And of course, all of this applies to all of the major scales and all 3 forms of all the minor scales. And now for 4 octaves. Start at 44. There will be 4 notes to each tick. Again, in very small increments. You're going to increase until about 100. 100 is a very great goal. Here is 100, 4 notes to a tick. Excellent. The development of speed and velocity when playing the piano begins with training the thumb. Remember, it's important to apply all of the scale exercises in this entire teaching video series to all of the major scales and the 3 forms of all of the minor scales. You're going to see dramatic results. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe so you receive the latest training, teaching, and performance videos.